Thursday, August the 25th, 2016. This past week actually saw the 25th anniversary of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System entering the US. It entered the US on August 19th of 1991. My name is Razzle. I am joined by Shake for episode 28 of the Prattlecast.
I didn't think we were on 28.
What did you think we were on?
I don't know. I was thinking you were going to say like 22.
Jesus Christ, 22.
I know. I'm just not ready to be old.
That was back in July.
I
Remember
I hate my life.
You remember the hash browns in the shower? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I ate food in the shower.
Yeah, you did.
It's a thing. People do it.
Now, do you have any fond Super Nintendo memories you'd like to share with the audience today?
No.
Jeez, I was about to take a sip of my mocha while you serenaded us.
Wait, was the Lion King on that?
Yeah, I believe it was, yes.
Then yes, I have memories.
Okay, then tell us a little bit about that while I take a sip, and then I'll tell you my memories.
Oh, so really you're just using me to fill up the void while you drink a beverage.
Already done, so it's my turn.
About what? This is how I'm treated. You know, I miss you when you're gone, and this is why. You're a fucking asshole. No, the Lion King was kind of a big thing in my life. We would play it every day before school. And every day we'd go to school and we'd leave the system on because if we shut it off, the game's gone.
Oh, yeah.
There's no saving the Lion King. There's no saving.
Sort of like Jurassic Park back in the day.
Yeah, so we'd wake up super early. I'd get to my friend's house. We'd play it for 3 hours before school. So we were up at the ass crack of dawn. Our parents hated us. And we'd go to school. We'd leave it on. We're like, yeah, we're going to beat this today for sure. Every fucking day we got home from school, some asshole in that house shut the system off every day. And they would always tell us, oh, you're going to start a fire. There's going to be a fire in the house. And we're like, bitch, I don't care if there's a fire. I have to beat the Lion King. And to this day, I still haven't beaten the Lion King.
Oh, wow.
Because I was never given the opportunity. I live in fear that if I walk away from my system now, someone's going to shut it off.
So was there no save? I don't remember that part of Lion King because I remember playing it way back when.
Couldn't save.
Because, let's see, Lion King, first level, you're at the Pride Rock. Second level, you've got the Hakuna Matata. Third level is the one where you fight the hyenas at their lair.
All the brambles and stuff.
Yeah. And then
thorny bushes.
The fourth level was the one where you're looking right at Simba while he's running away from the wildebeests. And then the next one is the one where, I'm sorry, yeah, the next one's the actual Hakuna Matata. I was thinking of Can't Wait to Be King for level 2. So number 5 was the one where you're jumping on logs on the waterfalls and that kind of thing, and you become an adult. And I think level 6 also took place in the woods, except it was at night. Because I seem to recall that at some point you meet the head of Mufasa, and then you go and you fight. You have to go through all the hyenas to get to Scar with all the fires and everything. Oh, yeah, I remember that game. I might be leaving some of that out, but I remember.
Yeah, it's you couldn't save.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you know what's fucked up? Maybe you could, and we were so young we didn't know how to. And maybe we just suffered endlessly because we would make it almost to the very end of the goddamn game, and then we'd have to walk away, and someone would shut it off, or the power goes out, or someone trips over a wire, or we never. Yeah, I've never been able to complete it, and now I'm afraid to. I'm afraid I'll be disappointed.
Well, I know some of those games used to have password systems where you get a password. And a funny story about that, this is actually about the original Nintendo. I recall on a birthday I had, and this would have been in the early 90s. I don't know specifically which birthday, but probably it would have had to have been after 92. So I'm thinking it was probably 93 or possibly 94. But for my birthday that day, I was playing, at some point in that day, I was playing the NES version of Batman Returns. And I had never gotten very far in that game, but I was just messing around with the passwords. And I remember just time after time for hours just messing around with the passwords for some reason. And I kept getting rejected. And then suddenly it actually let me in. I actually put in a real legit password. out of random
What?
letters. And it took me, and I'll never forget this, it took me to the level where you're like, and I don't remember exactly how it begins, but I recall that I'm fighting the penguin in um, his like duck mobile thing, and I recall that I had a lot of items, like I had a lot of health, energy, like I don't know if it was like a developer cheat or something to get toward the end, but I remember that to this day. I somehow got super lucky. I typed in an actual password. I could
Did you remember what it was though
no,
after you typed
no, because
it?
once you type it in and hit enter, like it goes away and it doesn't show you. So what I planned to do was I had planned to just die so that it gave me a new password. I can go back, but I kept dying and dying and dying and dying and dying, but I would never get that screen again. So I could never get away from it. So I just went ahead and I finished the game. So I don't know if it was like a developer cheat where you got like all these health items and multiple lives, but I couldn't get out of it. Like I could not die to get a password. It was
Well,
bizarre.
damn. You cheated.
It was a great birthday shake.
Yeah, it was a birthday of
It
cheating.
wasn't
So
cheating, it was
fuck you.
luck.
Yeah, the luck of the cheats. I can't believe you. But no, I only really remember The Lion King.
Well, I remember
I
Donkey
don't.
Kong Country on SNES because I remember when that one came out, it just looked so different from everything else. It was like, holy crap, look how amazing these graphics are on Donkey Kong Country.
I remember Donkey Kong 64.
Wow.
For the Nintendo 64, it scared me. It did. It scared the shit out of me because I don't know what it was, like the music and the atmosphere. And when you go onto that island with the giant crocodiles in the cage, just asking you to let it out, I'm like, bitch, I'm never letting you out. Even though that's like the point of the game is to let them out. I was like, no, I'm not playing anymore, and I never played it again.
I don't even remember this game. Maybe I didn't play it.
Yeah, well, because they gave you a separate Rumble pack for your N64 because it needed more memory just to run the game, and I never took that Rumble pack out. It's still in there.
Well, I mean, the N64 was kind of a crap system.
I happen to like it.
I know, but in my opinion, like when I look back at that time, like N64 and the original PlayStation, I feel like those two systems were such garbage at the time. I really do. Like I remember being kind of hyped about getting the N64. The biggest game I wanted to play at that time was Star Fox. And I played the hell out of Star Fox for a while, but after a while I remember thinking to myself, shouldn't graphics be better than this right now? I remember consciously having that thought. And the same thing with the original PlayStation. It's the only time that I ever recall seeing a new system, playing it for a while, and thinking, shouldn't the graphics be better than what they are right now? The biggest game I played on N64 was GoldenEye. I played the hell out of some GoldenEye. And I think that was also when I started getting back into wrestling games was around that time too.
I played the fuck out of some Banjo Kazooie.
I never played it except for, well, for the Uncharted version.
Yeah, well, that's not Banjo Kazooie. That's Crash
I
Bandicoot.
always get those two things mixed up.
How can you get those two universes mixed
You
up?
know
They are
how
nowhere near the same.
I understand that, but I never
Like
played
you make me uncomfortable.
like I never played either one of them though. So for some reason I hear one name and I think of the other one because to me they're both silly names, and so I just automatically assume they're the same game, and yeah. So I'll never get it straight. I'm just letting you know. I'll never remember which one is which because they both look exactly the same in my mind. Like I don't even know
But
what.
they're not.
Okay, what is Banjo
Crash
Kazooie?
Bandicoot is like a fox.
Yeah, I know that.
Banjo Kazooie is a big fat bear that wears a Woody Woodpecker bird in his back.
Okay, I have no idea what this is. So
Yeah, Banjo Kazooie, like you could play as Banjo, and he had a bird in his back, and the bird's head would pop out, and his wings would pop out of the bag, and he'd like fly you around. Or the bird would come out of the backpack entirely and carry the bear, and you could walk around as the bird.
yeah, see, you know what I think it is. I
And he
don't.
played the banjo, and then Kazooie, the bird Kazooie, played the kazoo. They were like
Course.
really cool characters.
Of course they did. But no, I was falling out of love with video games in general around that time. So I kind of after the PlayStation 1, I took a huge break and I didn't come back until around 2003. And because I bought the Xbox, I did not buy the PS2 as you well know. I now have one, but I did not buy one at the time. And the
It's a
game,
good thing you have one. It is a crime to not have a PS2.
but the game that got me back into gaming was KOTOR, was Knights of the Old Republic, which I bought on a whim. I did not think it was going to be what it was. And I remember playing it and just being blown away. I played through the whole thing twice. And after that, I became a huge fan of the BioWare company. And I went back and I bought like their Neverwinter Nights and I bought their Baldur's Gate. And I just loved them. And I followed them through Jade Empire and the first Dragon Age and Mass Effect. I remember when I first got the email announcing Mass Effect, and they had that original trailer where Shepard was like this guy with like white spiky hair, like a soldier or something. And they had like a shot of the forest with like the what was later revealed to be the Geth, except at that time they were just like robotic, creatures, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember those days.
You've got Rare Replay. You've got that, right? You've
No,
got the Rare Replay. Yes, you do.
I do not have Rare Replay.
It's a game that you get with the Xbox
It
One.
did not come with my Xbox One. With my,
Oh my Atlanta, Georgia. Rare Replay is like 50 games. It's a really great
I
deal.
got
Well, anyway.
Sunset Overdrive is what came with my
Oh,
Xbox
that
One.
sucks. I'm sorry for you.
I enjoyed playing it. It was neat.
For like how long? A minute?
A couple of
Yeah,
hours.
roughly a
I
minute.
got a couple of
Okay.
hours out of it. I mean, there was
Because
much
I got
to it.
Gears of War Ultimate Edition with mine,
I know.
which I was happy about, and the Rare Replay, which is like 50 N64 games. That I was really happy. Well, I think it's even older games too.
Yeah, I did have
Um,
Perfect Dark in there.
yeah, I have Perfect Dark for the N64. I've never played it though.
Yeah, that was sort of the way that one came out, I think, after GoldenEye, so it was kind of the next step. And so it was like, I think single player wise, it was probably even better than GoldenEye, but I don't remember it that well. I just remember GoldenEye because I remember that was the one that we played all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't even opened up the Rare Replay, but I think if well, aren't you getting a new Xbox anyway?
I will be.
Well, then get one with Rare
Oh
Replay,
my!
so then you can play Banjo Kazooie, Banjo Tooie,
I mean, that's not
and you.
that's not exactly going to be the biggest qualifying decision in which Xbox I get.
Excuse me. I'm offended, but whatever. I accept your decisions,
Oh my
and I
God.
accept you as a person. Since we're on the topic of games,
Well,
I want to mention.
before we go further,
What? Excuse me.
before we go
What?
further, since we were on the topic of BioWare,
What?
I just wanted to mention this really fast.
Oh, what happened?
No, they've mentioned they're going to be showing gameplay. They're going to wait until after, I believe they said after uh, the World War II game that EA is working on right now. I mean, World War One game. I think it's a Call of Duty, or no, I'm sorry. What am I talking about? It's a Battlefield game. So after EA finishes that and this, now why they're waiting till after this, I don't know, but that's what they've said. It seems to be hinted at they're going to be starting to promote it, even though BioWare's not promoting anything right now. So I don't know what the holdup is, but they will. They said they're going to be showing some gameplay. Hopefully after the next 2 months or so, we'll see some gameplay of Mass Effect, and we'll be able to take our first look at hopefully what the game UI will look like. And yeah, so I just want to throw that out there before we moved on.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel nothing.
Right now I don't, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see it, and then I'm gonna go. Okay, well this looks interesting, and I'm gonna
Right.
buy it
But it's not
regardless.
final product. Like I'm just you're showing me things, but I'm still like, okay, yeah, okay.
I mean, I've got a huge, uh, what's the word I'm looking for here?
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
waiting to find
I'll
out.
just sit here for 10 minutes thinking about it. But no, I've just got this feeling that things might not be so good with the game, but I am hopeful that it is good. Believe it or not, I am hopeful that it's a wonderful little game, and I'm looking forward to playing it. And I'm hoping it is not another Dragon Age Inquisition.
I mean, I guess we're gonna find out in a few months here.
Mm.
I've got I've been keeping up with this fucking hot garbage that is No Man's Sky.
Oh shit!
I know. I really shouldn't be, but like I'm attracted to car accidents. So I can't look
Let's
away
do it.
from what I'm seeing. Now the I don't have a lot to say about this except like I told you so to like majority of the people that were really excited about this fucking game. It's just I told you so. It's not that great. It somebody posted a thread on Steam talking about how the game has lost like over 76% of its player base
It was over 90 the last time I checked.
already. Oh, okay. So it's even more now. The developers people were like talking about it on this thread and stuff. The developers locked all the Steam threads
Oh, they did?
so that people cannot comment anymore and they cannot say anything.
Well, that's going to work.
So I'm like, okay, block off one area of social media where we can go everywhere else and bitch and complain about this.
Wow.
So they've decided that their answer now is to just shut it down. It's like, oh, are you bitching about the game? Shut it down.
If that's true, because I was over here giving them.
It is. I checked one of the threads is locked, and the person who made it was concerned that like he said something wrong and Steam like locked it. And so he got in touch with them, and Steam's like, no, we did nothing. Like it's a development lock. So the developers went in and locked the threads.
I mean, I've been giving them the benefit of the doubt, and it sounds like I shouldn't be doing that anymore because these guys,
I don't think so.
Hello Games, I believe is what they're called, and if this is how they're going to respond to this, I mean, first of all, the best way you can respond to this type of situation is, well, actually, it's probably to say nothing at all for now, except for what they have been saying. Except I would recommend that guy they've got that's always talking. They need to shut him up. They need to stop that guy from talking. That's priority
Just
number one.
don't talk anymore.
That guy needs to shut his fucking mouth.
Just be quiet.
Because that guy has been over here like he's been promising the world. He's become Peter Molyneux.
You're hurting us.
We just got rid of Peter Molyneux. His Lionhead got shut down or whatever. Peter Molyneux, I don't even know what he's doing now. And now we've got this guy coming in. So congratulations. You just filled Peter Molyneux's shoes. Oh my goodness. Look at you.
Yeah, that's because I've been following a lot of people just complaining about it. Because there was a lot of streams that I watched. Not that I watch a lot, really. It's just a couple people that were really into it. And then after a day or two, they stopped playing, and they're like, "Oh, well, maybe we're just waiting for more to come out." And nothing has happened. And now the game has died so fast. It's been a while since I've seen a game fall downhill this quickly.
Yeah, they never should have launched at full price. That was one huge problem, I think, with this game, because this is not a full price buy it as it is game. This is more like a wait till it's on PlayStation Plus, try it out and see how it is type of game. But yeah, no, I can see why, because there really probably is nothing to do in this game. I haven't played it myself. I've looked at videos of it. I've seen people in forums talking about it, and it kind of is what I thought it would be, which is the poor man's Elite Dangerous, which is what I was saying the other day. But I mean, basically, if I understand correctly, you have a spaceship and you have to buy or get parts for the spaceship, and you mine things to do that. But you don't really build things, It's not like a Minecraft where you can go in and just build shit. Because if that was in there, then there would be some sense of playability where you could build forts.
Yeah, you could do whatever you wanted then, kind of. Like, you could at least have that, it would have that, like, that artistic quality to it where you could just build your own shit and have fun doing that. Yeah. But it doesn't have that.
Or if there was some type of multiplayer to make it more interesting. But apparently the multiplayer is very limited unless they've fixed.
It's not real.
It's like a complete fabrication. Yeah, they've actually said many times how this is very similar to what Gearbox did with Colonial Marines. And if I remember right, I believe they actually sued Gearbox about Colonial Marines because of how bullshit all the promotional stuff was. So yeah, I mean, in my opinion, this could. I don't know much about the law, but I just get this feeling like, this is probably one of those cases where you need to draw the line and say this is bullshit, and consumers have rights. And and because I don't think that PlayStation's honoring any people who are requesting a refund, which is the Sony way. Sony doesn't usually do refunds at all. I remember when I got my PlayStation, I'll tell you this. I got my PlayStation and it came with a 30-day PlayStation Plus type thing. I thought it was going to work like Microsoft Xbox, which has a much smarter system where you basically can use trial on trial on trial. Like if you get a new trial, you can just put it on your account and you'll get those days free. That's what I thought
Right.
Sony was doing. Well, I was wrong. So when I activated my account, it said, well, you automatically get a 14-day free trial when you activate an account. I was like, oh, well, I've got 14 days plus this extra 30 days. So I'll go ahead and use the 14. Then I'll activate the 30. Well, I used up my 14 days and I went to plug in my 30 and it said, we're sorry, you can't use this because your account has already used a free trial of PlayStation Plus. And I was sitting here like that doesn't make any sense because I bought this fucking thing. I called up their support and they were like, yeah, you can't do that. You no.
What?
And I was like, well, can you just extend my current one?
PlayStation, please.
Because I was like, can you just extend it by 16 days then? Because I bought a fucking PS4 and I set up a new account and I did all this shit. And they're like, no, we can't do that because you've already had a free trial. And I was like, oh, well, fuck you.
Okay, that's super right.
So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying with Sony. They don't play. They don't really give a shit. And so I think this is one of those issues where Sony, I think, needs to rethink its policies. Because if people are asking for refunds, I think they should press for them. Like if you're unhappy with this game, because guess what? You were lied to. You were lied about what this game is.
Yeah, the game's not even done. I'm sorry, it's not done. There's no way this is a finished game that we were given. It's garbage.
Hello games, hello lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like everything I read about this game is just bleh. And then it gets all these huge scores on all these gaming sites. Like I don't know if
I don't know why.
these fucking
Like
you know what it is. These gaming sites are in collusion with like these other people who are just like, well, I'm going to give you a good review because I like you. That's what I think it is. If you want real reviews, then go to a retailer like Steam or Amazon or such to go read.
Steam's not always the
No,
best, though.
no. In fact, I was going to use this to kind of go into the aisle.
Oh, well, we're gonna talk about this shit?
Can I hold on one second? Because
Okay.
there is one in particular one. I've got to pull this one up. So just bear with me for just one really quick second while I pull this up on my computer.
Oh, I hear the click, click, click.
Oh,
click.
you know it's coming, Shane.
Oh, I hear the rage monster coming. Oh, let me get a piece of chocolate for this. I need some chocolate for the drama that's about to happen here. Y'all ready for this shit?
Oh my.
Because I can't handle.
Because I was over here and I had to read some of these again. Because, there was much, much more of them coming in as of late. Because the Isle has just recently made a huge change on their system.
Mm-hmm.
And the new change is that they're going to basically prevent people from deleting assets from their game. Now, for those of you who are completely out, like you're not familiar with the Isle and what's going on, basically,
Why are you here?
the Isle is a game where you play dinosaurs, and some of the players can choose to be herbivores, some to be carnivores, and you go through a progression system. So you always start off as the low tier dino, and if you earn points, you can unlock higher ones and higher ones. But if you die, everything gets reset back down to basically 0. All right, and so what some of the carnivores and herbivore players, to be fair, what some of the people have been doing is they decided, well, we're going to go into the files and just like delete out the grass files from the game. What that means is if you delete the grass files, then you don't have to worry about, dinosaurs hiding from you because you can see right through them. You can just fucking, see them because there's no grass, there's no foliage, there's no trees. You just deleted all those assets. Well, a lot of people have been complaining about it, and now the developers have come up with a way to detect when people have done that, and they've begun banning them, like just banning them straight out of the game. And obviously, some people are very upset with this. Mostly, people who have been cheating.
Mostly fucking douchebags. It's like, I'm sorry, but The Isle is one of those games that you don't want. You don't want to test those waters of what you think you can get away with, because these developers, they don't give a fuck about you. They're gonna get rid of you. They don't care if you've played the game for 1,000,000 hours. They don't care if you spent money on the game. They don't care if you've donated. If you're gonna be an asshole and ruin the game that they created, they're gonna permanently ban you from it. And they're not gonna apologize. They're not gonna accept your half-ass apology for being a douche. I can't.
But yeah. So there have been a huge new slew of basically new negative reviews from people who have had well over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours worth. And I was going to see, yeah, I think I might have found one of these cats who, yeah, this cat right here. And I'm just going to tell you this person's name and everything because, this is publicly available. This is on Steam's review system.
Yeah, tell them,
So
Rez.
I'm
I'll
just going
start
to
excited.
tell you this person's name, tell you what they wrote. And then I'm gonna tell you what somebody posted here, and this is
Okay.
hilarious. Okay, so this person's name on Steam is Scoobster, and this was put up on August 24th at 6:15 a.m. So this is right at when they started banning people for deleting grass files and such. This person has logged in the game close to 200 hours. That's 197.9 hours they put in this game, which they are now banned from, by the way. Now, this is their review. They put a negative review. 0 of 13 people have currently found it helpful, just so you know.
Was this before or after the ban?
This is right when the ban happened, so this is after the ban.
So this is a rage review.
Yes.
This
and
is a very rage
it's not
review.
long, but I just want you to. Okay, so check this out. This is what he said, and then I'm going to tell you something new that happened in this thread, and it's hilarious. Okay, so Scoobster says, these are their words. I was totally going to support this game being developed, but not anymore.
I was.
After 200 hours, really?
I was going to support it, but I changed my mind.
All right. After getting kicked from the game by one of the idiotic devs for something to do with... Here's the thing. Here's how they worded this. For something to do with modding game files, as if they don't even know. Okay. And here's how they finished it, because it's a very short review. It's only 3 lines. Here's the last line right here. The game runs very bad, and most people are removing the grass for better performance. Now, when you read that, you would think, oh, this poor guy who just needed to delete these files so that his game would run better, right? Well, it turns out not so much. Another user in the thread posted a in-game screenshot, and this is hilarious. There's an in-game screenshot, and it actually is of the chat. You can see the chat there. And guess who's in this chat? It's Scoobster. Let's see what Scoobster says. All right. So here's the chat. We can actually... It says, this is Scoobster. Scoobster says, it's a Dryo. Then another user says, oh no, it's a Herrera. And then Scoobster says, I deleted my grass file so I can see all dinos. Another user says, Ostro. Another user says, oh. Scoobster says, oh. And at this point, someone asks Scoobster, there's grass files? And he says, yeah, in main directory, delete them. So in this screenshot, he says that he deleted his grass file.
He admits to it.
So he could see all dinos. And yet in his review here, he said, the game runs very bad and most people are removing the grass for better performance. Yeah, better performance indeed. And he's been banned. Imagine that.
What you get for being a fuckboy.
I just thought that one was funny. That's just one of the many that are on there right now. And like I said, if you're posting these negative reviews and you've got over 100 hours, this person had close to 200. They're going to give it a negative review, and they're going to make up a BS reason because guess what? They got caught cheating. Then no, I'm sorry. I don't have sympathy for that. You were cheating. So whatever.
Yeah, it seems like lately there's just been a big rash of bad reviews because of the new progression system and because they're forcing everybody to use it because they need to test it. They need to see how it works. So they've locked it like that. But ever since the progression came out, ever since that, everyone's leaving bad reviews because they don't like that the game's changing. And it's just like, how do you not understand? They're like, oh, the game was so much better before. And I'm like, it's not done.
Jesus.
Why? But I was watching the development stream today, and I was watching Dondi was running around as a Stegosaurus, and in the map, the new V3 map that we've been playing on, there's a hidden trail in that map. And I was trying to, I caught him right as he was getting up to it, so I'm, trying to look around where he is. I'm like, shit, where is this? And if you follow the trail, you get to this warehouse.
Oh my.
And it's all textured and stuff. It looks pretty nice, and you can go inside of it. You can go up the stairs in it. You can get up to the second floor of the building. Um, and I thought it was really cool. And there's also on the map a fucking volcano, which I had no idea because he was flying around as the bird
Yeah.
for a minute,
Oh, so
and people kept saying, go to the volcano, go to the volcano, and he's like, I don't want to fucking go to the volcano, so he didn't. But there's a volcano on the map
Nice.
too, and I'm like, how much of this have like I'm thinking of all the times I've run around this map, and I'm like, I have never found this hidden trail. I have no idea where this is. Like I don't have a damn clue where this trail is at all. But it's a nice windy trail that you can go down, and you end up at this warehouse, and that's gonna be something.
Once they put the
And then
people in there.
I thought there was one comment he made that I don't know why, but it tickled me, and it was because his chat became cancer very quickly, because it was just cancer, and it was people were bitching about it. It turned into like this gender battle
What?
in his chat, which has nothing to do with any of the games. So they kept asking Dante like, what do you think of like gender fluid people and all this stuff, and Dante was like, listen, he's like, if I had a piece of garlic bread for every gender that there was, I'd have 2 pieces of garlic bread. The end. And then he just left it alone. Like, he never brought it up again. Everyone got banned from the chat. Like, his whole chat was just a wall of deleted messages, and he just went back to his game. And I don't know why it tickled me so much, but it tickled me that he said that. He was like, that's it. He's like, there is man, there is woman. 2 pieces of garlic bread, that is all I have for you. And I was like, okay. And he just walked away from it. And I was like, okay, good for you, man. It tickled me, Razzle.
Yeah, but
sorry.
aren't there some frogs who have been known to spontaneously switch
We're
gender?
talking about humans.
But I'm just saying, if we use these frogs to create the dinosaurs, then some of the dinosaurs could change gender, and you could have dino babies.
Well, then I guess we'll get more pieces of garlic bread. I'm gonna need more garlic bread for this. But he announced, well, he didn't announce. He kind of, clarified that there's 2 dinosaurs that are gonna come in.
Oh yeah?
Yep. I can't remember their name.
Well, this is a news podcast. Let me tell you.
Sorry. No, the Suko's coming in.
Uh-huh.
We're getting the crocodiles. And then no, I can never remember its name. It's
We're talking about the Spinosaurus?
No, because of the K. Ah, fuck me. I just looked it up too.
What's it look like? Let's play some Pictionary.
Okay, wait a minute. It looks just like a Suko. I'm not typing, I swear.
Starts with a K. Kaleidoscoposaurus. Do you
Yeah, there's no. Wait, what did you say?
A Kaleidoscoposaurus?
No, you fucking weirdo.
Or a Do You Think He's Saurus? Or a Do You Think He's Saurus Rex?
Oh no, not the Suchomimus. The Sarcosuchus.
Sarcosuchus.
Sarcosuchus is the fucking alligator thing. Caprasuchus is the other one that they're gonna bring in. Caprasuchus looks just like the Sugo, except it's bigger. It's got a big spiny head, and it walks taller. It'll be about the height of a stego, probably.
Oh my god!
And it can run pretty fast on land. I know they have it in Ark, and it's big. It's big and it's scary. And I'm not excited to ever deal with it, but it'll be pretty cool.
Maybe they should bring in some dodos.
Do you want to play as a dodo?
I kind of do, actually. I played as one in the Ark game with mods.
Well, I haven't yet.
I played as a baby dodo.
Is a baby dodo just a fucking does it just look like a mini version of the adult?
It looked I guess it does look sort of like a mini version of the adult. So most of the baby ones do look like just miniature versions of the adult. And the weird thing about it is they all only move as fast as the adult. So when I tried to be Littlefoot, he only went at a snail's pace. He was like super slow. I'm hoping that somebody comes up.
Oh, you would think he'd be faster.
Yeah, because somebody needs to do like a mod where they make the babies go faster.
Yeah, because he's little. I mean, he should be able to kind of book it.
You would think so.
He should be able to
I mean,
move.
otherwise he's just going to be standing there because it's like it's just weird. It's just like barely moving at all, just watching the statue on the ground.
Yeah, but they when I was watching him play, he was going through as the Stegosaurus, killing anybody who came near him, um, and found that hidden base thing. Not that he found it; he knew where it fucking was. And then you saw him playing as the Hypo Rex, which is just massive. That's terrifying. There's no need for that thing to exist. And then when he was flying around as the bird, he was on a different. I don't know. I don't know if it's the V3 map because there's this huge facility. It's like multiple buildings hidden in the woods. Like there's train tracks
Well,
leading out.
I think one of the most recent updates, I think they said they were adding in some of the locations for the people.
Okay, because like I had never seen it, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, this is pretty intense. This looks like they were building a fucking railroad out of there and stuff.
Mm. It's going to be scary.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm like continue. I just keep being excited. And he snapped at one of the viewers because when someone was saying that he wasn't going to bring the Capro in or whatever, they were like, oh yeah, no, he's not bringing in Spinos and he's not doing this. And Dondi just stopped the stream. He's like, excuse me. He's like, are you on my development team? And like he called the guy out. He was like, "Are you on my development team?" He's like, "Are you telling me that things are not coming into my game that I've specifically said are coming into my game that I have every intention of putting into my game, not your game, but my game?" And it was like, "Oh shit. Kid just got wrecked." And then the poor kid just didn't say anything the rest of the time. Like I waited for him to like say something stupid in response, but the kid just stayed quiet. Like what are you going to say? Like what can you say when a developer yells at you? I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
I don't know.
I wouldn't know
I
what
guess they'll go write a bad review. That seems to
People
be
are really good at it. I should do it. Hell,
seems
why
to be
not?
what people's reactions to everything is now.
I was thinking of writing a good review, but I don't feel like I should yet.
Yeah, I don't feel like the game is complete enough to even have a review. So I don't. I mean, unless they're just trying to make reviews for people to buy early access, which I'm like, okay, but what's with all the negative reviews? And it's always the same BS arguments. Like, there's no sandbox. Well, there will be later, you dummy. This is
I die too much.
I die too much. Progression stupid. I lose all of my stuff. The
Yeah.
developer was mean to me. I mean, I don't know.
Why are they yelling at me? I got
They
banned.
should just come up with
Explain
like
it.
a system where you do the review and it has like boxes you can check, so they'll know what kind of review it is. One of them will be Dondi was mean to me today, so I'm giving you a negative review.
Uh,
I got banned
I
for
mean,
cheating,
everybody could give a negative review for him being mean.
but hopefully now they have more time to focus on nesting and people and all that other good stuff instead of having to deal with cheaters. Now that they're changing up the way it all is. I know they said it was a 10 gig download, I think is what they said. So that I don't even know if I have that one downloaded yet. I've got my Steam.
I didn't like specifically go in and download anything, so I don't know if mine's done.
Oh my goodness, that's a big.
I don't
It's going to
know.
be a big one, Shake.
But I was looking into that game that you posted about
Which
earlier,
one?
Virginia.
Oh, I haven't even read about it yet. I just saw it on the
It's
Twitch.
inspired by Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I read that. But that's all I saw about it. I know it's first person. It's a mystery or something. It's coming to PlayStation.
Yeah, I guess it's from what I read, which wasn't a lot. They're not giving a lot out on it, I guess. But it's there's a big kind of murder mystery going on, and the list of suspects grows bigger and bigger. Things become very convoluted and crazy. You work for the FBI. That's it. It looks really weird though. Like the art style's strange
hmm
and kind of bothers me a little bit. Like I don't like the art style. Not that that's ever stopped me from playing anything because it hasn't. But the art style's a little bit strange. But I was excited the moment I read that it was inspired by Twin Peaks. I'm like, oh, remember the last game we had like that? It was amazing. I think other people would beg to differ because Deadly Premonition is not on anybody's list.
It's on people's lists.
Well, yeah, there's a cult.
I've
But
seen it. I've
besides
seen it
the cult,
mentioned quite a few times from certain people around the around the webs. So yeah,
are they like big fans though?
no, not really. I mean, I've seen it. I've heard about it mentioned in passing. I've seen it on some people's wish lists at times that you wouldn't ordinarily expect to see that game on certain people's wish lists. But nope, there it is. But
I wonder if they've seen it in action, like seen the game, because the game is so odd. Like I remember streaming it and listening to people's reactions to it. Not listening, reading. What the fuck? But I'd read their reactions to it and they're like, "What's going on? This is weird. This is weird," and it just gets weirder through the whole game. So I'm excited to see what Virginia's like. I still got to get on the Telltale Batman game. Haven't done that yet.
yeah, I don't know much about Virginia. Like I said, I saw it on Twitter today. I've got to read about it later. But when you said that, I thought you were actually going to talk about Mountain Blade, which
You know what? I briefly watched my boyfriend play it.
mm-hmm.
And by briefly, I mean I popped into the stream, didn't know what it was, and I left.
Okay. Well,
I'm a bad person, so I don't know anything about it. I just know it's on a big sale, or it was.
yeah, it still is. It is for the next until tomorrow around noon. And I'm actually thinking about picking up the Mountain Blade what's it called? Warband. And I'll tell you why. Well, apparently they're making a new Mount and Blade, and it should be out sometime later this year or early next
Yeah,
year.
that I know.
And so this is the first I even knew about this game. Okay, I didn't know anything about this game. I've heard about the game. I've certainly heard the title before, but I didn't know anything about it until I saw it on sale. So I'm like, okay, let me look into this. And I look it up on YouTube, and it actually looks pretty neat. Like it looks like a really neat little game. It's definitely an indie game. It doesn't look like a modern game by any stretch of the imagination. It's very outdated graphically, but it's just the idea of what you can do with it that looks fun. And basically, in the game, you start off as just a character, and you can go out into the world and put together an army to go take over castles or whatnot. But there's a lot of variety to it, and there's a lot more to it than that. Like you can go get married, you can go become the lord of this region here. It's just like a lot of different options. But I was watching them play the new one through the Gamescom footage that came out recently, and I was like, how have I never heard of this game? Because it looks better graphically, and it looks like the same type of game with the same type of stuff. It's very intuitive with the sword play. Like it's probably the most intuitive sword play I've ever seen in a video game just by watching it. So you can definitely tell these are developers who care about what they're doing, and just the variety in what you can play as and how you can play. I'm looking forward to trying it. I may or may not like it, but it's only like $4 or $5, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot at that. Why not? And if I like it, I'll buy the new one. So.
Yeah, I heard about the new one. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be for me. I'd try it if it was cheap enough, but nothing's cheap enough right now.
Understandable, Shake.
You know, nothing's cheap enough. I don't have anything else to bring up as far as gaming goes. Just want to let you know. And see, the thing is, what people listening don't understand is like, I'm in the middle of moving. Like I'm moving within the next 6 weeks. Like life is crazy. And like all I want to talk about is video games. So then when I run out of video game stuff, like I have other stuff here that I don't give a fuck about that I could talk about, but I just don't care. Like, hey, you know what I can tell you that I do care about?
What?
Fuller House. They finished 10 episodes. They're almost done. It's coming out soon.
Yeah, and they got the New Kids on the Block will be appearing this season.
Fuck yeah.
So when does that come out? When does that?
They don't have a date, but they only got 3 more episodes to film.
Oh my
apparently.
God!
So it'll be soon.
Well, I know they're also
We're gonna have to have another marathon.
absolutely, and they've got the new Star Trek is still being worked on. Some people are excited, some people are less excited about it. A lot of people are angry that it's not taking place after Voyager. Instead, it's going back in time a bit to before the original series.
I think you're talking about like the movies.
No, I'm talking about
Yeah, because I haven't seen the movies at all.
No, this is the new show they're going to be releasing.
Yeah, okay.
So that's going to be coming out soon. I'm looking forward to checking it out. And like the only thing I know about it is what we talked about, I think, even on the podcast, which is that it's just going to be about somebody who is not a captain. So that's kind of like the only real information we have on it
Yeah,
still.
didn't we talk about that and how they announced there's gonna be like a bisexual character or a gay character or
Yeah,
something?
they said there would be a gay character, even though they
Okay.
haven't. Like, here's the thing: I don't even know how much of the characters they had written at that point. I don't even know. It's like, okay, great, all right. I don't. It
I'm
reminds me of
excited
when
for it.
of the Star Trek movies. I know you haven't seen them, but you might have seen this story where they announced that the Sulu from the movies would be revealed as being gay in the latest movie, and they just announced like that
Yes, yes,
before the movie.
I did read
Yeah,
that.
and
And I
Sulu.
was like, okay, thanks. I like how they needed to prepare me for the horror of knowing this.
But I mean, and
Like
then like they asked like George,
it's just it's
I'm
odd.
just gonna call him George because I know.
It's like,
I,
yeah, so
and by know him, I
I'm
mean
talking to George about
by
it.
by know him, I mean I saw him in passing at a convention once, and that's about it. So yeah, I know him, but no, I mean he was he looked at it, he was like, that was kind of an unfortunate thing. He felt like it was against Gene's vision, which I don't think is what Paramount and the cast and crew thought was going to be the response. But I don't know. Like, I think it would be very weird, honestly. Like, if I'm just being honest. Like, if I played a character and then 20 years later they remade the movie and they decided, okay, well, we're changing your character's orientation. I'd be like, okay, whatever. Am I supposed to thank you or be honored? I just whatever. I mean, the only things we know about Sulu's orientation, I think, are that he flirted a bit with Uhura in the Mirror Universe in the original series, and that he had a daughter per generations. Now we don't know who his spouse was, but that's all we really know in regards to Sulu from the original series. And granted, yeah, I mean they can change whatever they want. I mean it's a whole other thing they're doing with the movies, but you know,
I just think it's weird.
it's.
I just think it's weird to be like, so we want to let you
I
know
mean, the
in the
weird thing
next
I think
movie.
about it is just that they felt the need to announce it. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like how it almost is like they're just like, okay, guys, we just want to prepare you for this.
it's not. No,
This
that's
is
not what
what's
it
gonna
was.
happen.
No, they were.
It's just
They wanted to say something and get patted on the back about it. That's all this was. This wasn't them preparing audiences. I mean, the thing is, if they just did it as it is, like, okay, so Sulu has a husband or whatever, no one would give a shit. The people who would give a shit are just, are just crazy anyway. But instead, they decided, you know what, we're going to make this huge announcement. Before the movie releases, we're going to reveal like this big reveal. It's not even a big reveal. It's like it's the equivalent of mentioning something in passing, and we're making it out to be a big deal. Um, my whole thing is, it's not a big deal. Stop treating it like a big deal. Stop saying shit just to get patted on the back. Nobody cares. This isn't the 90s anymore. You don't need to do that. But whatever. What do I know? I'm an old man.
oh my god, you're not old.
I feel old right now.
Oh my
The
land of
fact that
Georgia, you're not allowed to say that
the
shit.
fact that that has to be news, or that it has to be news that oh yeah, we're not going to reveal much about the show, but we're going to tell you we're going to have a gay character. Well, wonderful, cool, okay.
Listen, we're not revealing much, but we got to tell you,
And don't get me wrong,
this is
I think that's great, awesome, because you know what, there really aren't any openly gay Star Trek characters. So I'm all for
no,
there being a well-written, openly gay character. In fact, that's actually what I think everybody was saying was that, why not create a new character who is openly gay and awesome, and then move on with our days? And that's what they're doing with the new series. So I'm all for that. I just didn't see the need in the announcement. It's like it's some kind of a feature, like that needs to be the thing that draws people to see the show. No, the thing that draws people to see the show needs to be a well-written sci-fi series. That's it. You reveal all the
yeah.
other stuff in the show with character development. Like, that's like saying, oh yeah, one of our characters, they really like cigars. Oh, okay. That's neat.
It's like, wow,
That's cool. That's what I see it
good to
as.
know.
Whatever. Yeah, one of our characters has a kid. Oh. Cool. Neat. Cool. That's a huge feature.
it's
That's
it's important to me.
that's on my checklist. We got to have another Cisco with another kid. Like
As- it's just important to me. I need to know.
what?
I like to know what I'm getting into, Razzle.
I think it's important to know what we're getting into.
I like to be
And
prepared.
now that we're going to get hate mail for that, let's move on to
I
the
don't.
next topic.
I'd like hate mail over no mail. You know, you were a big fan of MacGyver, right?
No. What
I
the fuck
know.
did you just say to me? I was not a fan of MacGyver. No.
It's like I thought we were friends. I was wrong. Well, they're remaking it.
Yeah, I know. Did we talk about this or did we?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
We've never talked about this because I know you hate MacGyver. I just figured when it comes out, maybe we could take it for a test drive
Mm-hmm.
and leave, our decent review of MacGyver. Maybe it'll be good. It'll be all reinvented and modern.
I'll totally give it a shot. What I was going to say with MacGyver, I loved it as a kid, but the only reason I think I liked it as a kid was because of the running joke gag at the time, which is that MacGyver could get himself out of anything with like a pin and a thread of needle or a thread of
a thread of needle.
yeah, a thread of needle. But no, he could get himself out of any situation with just like the bare bones, the bullshit that's lying around in a fucking room like a match.
As an adult, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'll watch it and I'm like, I don't fucking understand.
But no, the reason I don't like it is because I find the show boring. Like I've tried to watch it as an adult and I find it incredibly boring.
Yeah, I haven't tried watching. I should. I'm gonna sit down and watch some MacGyver later.
You do not need to watch MacGyver.
But I think of it now. No, I'll probably hate it. You're a fan of Natalie Portman too, right?
Oh my god.
Right? Oh my god, yeah.
What are
I
we
know you're
doing?
so-
What's going on with Natalie?
You're bursting at the seams.
What's happening?
Have you seen Thor?
I've only seen the first one.
Okay, well, she's a character.
Yes, I remember her in the first one. Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
people.
alert. She
Natalie
was a
Portman.
character.
She's in Thor.
And I know she's in
She's
the but I have,
she's leaving the Marvel universe. She's not going to be in anything else.
yeah, I read that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's done. And as I'm reading it, and she's like, oh, she's like, if they ever make like a fifth Avengers movie or something, maybe I'll come back. But I'm not going to be in anything else. And all I wondered to myself was if she chose to do that or if they just said that they were done with her.
I think it has something to do with the director pick. If I remember right, I heard something through the grapevine about how she was mad about them replacing a director that she liked or something like that. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I heard. So I'm throwing that out there. I don't even know how legit that is. But Natalie Portman should just be thankful she has a fucking career. Because I'm going to tell you something about Natalie Portman. She did...
I love it.
As a kid, she did a lot of movies. She did some great movies, too.
She was in the, what was it, The Professional?
The Professional, yeah.
I loved that movie.
And another great film that she was in that for some reason I've already forgotten the name of. It was a coming-of-age type of movie where this group of guys kind of come back to their hometown to do as like a reunion. There's like these four guys who come back for a reunion. She plays this kid living next door to one of them named Marty. But yeah, it's a great movie. I love this movie. For some reason, the title is escaping me right now. That's the thing with doing something live without preparing for this. But it's a great film. Look it up on IMDb. You'll find it for sure. But that was a great film. She did a lot of great films. Then she does The Phantom Menace. And she becomes a household name overnight, and she does these next two films. And I mean, the films just got progressively worse. And after she did those films, she was kind of not really being touched. Like nobody really wanted to work with her because they all kind of saw her as that Star Wars actress. Well, finally, one of her friends in the business convinced a director to hire her to do a movie called Cold Mountain.
Yeah, I never saw that. You told me about it. I've never seen it though.
It's a great film. You should definitely check it out. It's a Western, but it's not like a Western. It's a very good film, and she's got like a part in it. She's not like the leading lady or anything like that, but she has a very important role in it. And she did a really great performance there. And because of that performance, she started getting other parts like the V for Vendetta. Eventually went on to doing, of course, things like Thor and the Black Swan and things of that nature. So
Black Swan was too much for me.
I haven't seen Black Swan, believe it or not. But
It's just, I mean, I can believe it. I mean, I just, Black Swan was too much.
and I'm going to,
I don't know.
but no. So I think she should be thankful she has a career because somebody looked out for her, and they said, hey, you know what? We need to give her a chance and, see. Oh, yeah, Garden State was another one that she had done. The movie I was thinking of, just remembered, Beautiful Girls. Beautiful Girls, great film from back in the 90s. One of my favorite films, actually. And if you haven't seen it out there and you're hearing this, you're like, oh, what the hell is that? You should go watch it. It's a very good little film. And in fact, I think it's got the guy from The Americans who plays the next door neighbor,
Oh shit.
like the
Yeah,
FBI,
he
CIA
was
guy.
Jenner in The Walking Dead too. He was in The Walking Dead. He's God damn it, I know his name too.
But he's in that movie too, I think.
I like him.
So yeah, it's a good little
His
film.
face is a little scary in his age now, but it's I like him.
Yeah, he's something else. But yeah, I highly recommend it. Good little film. So if you ever see it on Netflix or something, go. Okay, well I got to go see that. Have you ever seen that, by the way?
What?
Beautiful Girls.
No.
Oh my goodness, Shake, you got it.
Would I like it?
Yeah, you'd love it. It's a great film.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know if it's on Netflix because I haven't seen it in years, so I don't know if it is right now or not. So could not
I'm
tell you.
looking.
But she's looking at that apparently.
I'm looking. It's The Beautiful Girls or Beautiful
No,
Girls?
just Beautiful Girls.
Nope.
Not on there. Too bad.
Not on there. There's a movie called She's Beautiful When She's Angry. Which I think is about me.
Yeah.
But it's okay. But yeah, she's done with Marvel, which I don't know. Maybe it's because her character is no longer going to be relevant, which doesn't make sense. Usually, a love interest stays relevant. But I don't know. Maybe they didn't want her. Maybe she didn't want to do it anymore.
Could have been
I
anything.
thought it was interesting.
But hey, I mean, if you signed on for 3 Star Wars movies, you should be willing to do anything.
Yeah, if you sign up for 3 Star Wars, just stay with Marvel forever. I mean, Marvel's doing extremely well on all fronts.
Yeah, they really are.
I mean, DC's fucking tanking at every turn. So, I mean, the thing is, DC's got amazing stuff to work with. I know Gotham's doing very well. It's doing very well for a TV show, but their movies, their films are doing so bad. And the DC universe has such great content to use, and it's just being fucking butchered every single time they make anything. It's just bad.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
But what else am I gonna say to that?
You don't watch any of this stuff, do you?
No, but
you don't watch any of it.
When you were saying that, I was kind of trying to find something that Natalie Portman's doing, and apparently she's actually doing a film as Jacqueline Kennedy, which I'm just now finding out about. And she's apparently
she's gonna be Jackie Kennedy.
Yeah, she's gonna be Jackie Kennedy.
Why do I feel like I've heard of this?
I'm looking at the shots of it right now. You know who did a really great Jackie Kennedy? Was goodness, Katie Holmes. Katie Holmes did a very.
I know that she played Jackie, but I never saw what movie was that?
It was in a miniseries called The Kennedys, and it had the guy from the that independent film about the spelling bee, Little Miss Sunshine. The guy who played the dad.
Oh, yeah.
He played.
I know who you're talking about.
He played as John F. Kennedy.
Shit.
And he did an incredible job. Like when I first heard that, I was like, that guy's gonna be JFK. But then when I saw it, I was like, wow, he actually is like JFK. Like I could actually believe that's JFK. And Katie Holmes looks so much like Jacqueline Kennedy that it's just.
Oh, so they both look pretty. I'm gonna have to watch this.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Like it was on Netflix for a while, but I think it's off now. Sometimes it comes back though, so it kind of comes on and then it leaves, and it comes on and it leaves. But yeah, it was a good little mini series. And I enjoyed it. It was neat. It was funny. It shows a different side of them too. Like I think it's meant to be a little bit more darker in some areas, but I mean, they were the Kennedys, so there was going to be some corruption there too. I mean, come on, any political family, whether they're the Kennedys or the fucking whoever, the Bushes or the Clintons, all these fucking families in politics.
I mean, but the Kennedys Kennedys, I think, are everyone's favorite.
I would agree. I think,
Just by default, like the Kennedys, it's everyone's favorite family.
and I think there's a good reason for that too. And it stretches back to the fact that John F. Kennedy kept us out of warfare. Like the man kept us out of war so many times. He did something no other president has ever done, which is come face to face with war and continually not do it. And I think that's worth remembering fondly. And plus, I think his brother, who didn't get to become president because he was assassinated while he was running.
That family is cursed.
Yeah, I mean, their whole family.
I swear to God, they really are.
Has come.
Like I mean, I always thought it was weird when I was young because I didn't really know much, and then like as I got older and like I was learning about them, I'm like, no, this family just has really bad fucking luck.
Yeah, and then there was like John Jr. who died in the plane crash.
Yeah.
Ugh. And
It's just
what was the other one? Their other brother. So they had John, and they had they had an older brother who died, I believe, during the war, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
And so there's one. That was probably the first one. Then of course John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Then of course the other Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, was assassinated. Ted Kennedy was the other one. And I think there were some scandals involving him. I don't. Is he even still around? Didn't he die? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Didn't Ted Kennedy die? I think he's dead.
Is he still kicking?
I don't know. Is he? If he is around, I don't know. I don't think he is.
I'm gonna Google him real quick because I don't know if he's dead.
I think he's gone. I don't think he's around anymore. I think, and then the daughter married Arnold.
Oh yeah, he died in 2009.
Okay, so not too long ago.
Born in Dorchester, died in Hyannis.
So then
it's a Massachusetts family.
Carolyn Kennedy married Arnold Schwarzenegger, and there's a whole other story right there for you. They got divorced.
You think? You think she woke up one day and said, "Wow,
what if I
deserve more"?
Wasn't he like sleeping with the maid or something?
Yeah. You cheated on a Kennedy. What's wrong with you?
I don't know what the hell is wrong with that guy.
I mean, but then again, she was dumb enough to marry fucking Arnold.
That is true.
I think there was something wrong there.
There was a whole lot of stupid to go around in that relationship.
Right. You know what's great about the Kennedys is they're so. I think especially in New England, we hold them in a higher esteem. Like we hold them up on a really high pedestal. And there was there's a tour you can go on in Boston, like when you go through the North End and stuff, where you can see where John F. Kennedy's mother was, when she died, where they brought her out of the church and stuff. They take you there and they talk about it. They talk about the Kennedys for like 45 fucking minutes. They show you like, oh yes, this is where they had her funeral. This is where all of this happened. This is where this happened. The Kennedys are a super big deal here, still.
And I think even the miniseries went into like their sister, who.
Like the one are you talking about the one that was like supposedly hidden from the public?
Yeah, or something. I don't even know. Like it's been so long since I've seen this shit.
Because I still see stuff like I remember I pulled up it was months ago. There was an issue of Time magazine. Or People. It was Time or People, one of them, that was talking about that sister. I never read it, though.
So was she real or was...
Yes, I'm pretty sure she's real.
Okay, because they, like, go into that, too. They, like, talk about, like, how she was sent away because... I don't want to misspeak here. Like, she was born with something or whatever. I don't know. But, yeah.
No, she was, I think it was... Rose?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Rosemary Kennedy.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
She's the oldest daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She had like she had behavioral problems from a young age, and she had lobotomies done when she was an adult. Her dad made her get lobotomies.
Oh Jesus!
And after they got the lobotomy, she was permanently disabled. I don't know if that meant that she couldn't talk.
Okay.
Or what? Let me open this up here. I actually have a thing here. Hold on. Let me open.
you got this all. But yeah, I know they mentioned about.
Yeah, no, she was after the failed lobotomy. It just says here that she was incapacitated and she was put in an institution in Wisconsin with minimal contact from the family, which is kind of
That's
upsetting
very upsetting. Yeah.
because, like, I don't know, I expected more from the Kennedys.
You would think so, but their
This
dad,
is the pedestal
the
that I put them
the
on.
patriarch guy, that guy was kind of a creep. Like everything
Joseph.
I've ever read about this guy, um, apparently he was also, according to the miniseries, which could be wrong. The thing I remember, like in the first episode or so, they kind of went into how he was one of the guys that were kind of more of a Nazi appeaser type of guy. So I don't know
Yeah.
if, I don't know how true that is, but I do know that they really lay in pretty hard on him and some of the
Yeah.
shit he did. Which,
She apparently they think that her condition is what inspired her sister Eunice to initiate the Special Olympics.
oh my goodness.
Because I guess the Kennedys started that too. I had no idea they did.
Well, that was good on Eunice.
Yeah.
And I think their dad was sort of like a soccer mom for politics, or one of those stage moms. He was like a stage mom for politics. That's what he was.
Yeah, I'm reading more about her. I guess it's kind of the doctor's fault that Rosemary kind of ended up messed up.
Maybe.
No, it's the nurse because the doctor wasn't available right away when her mother was ready to give birth. So the nurse just told her to keep her legs closed,
What?
and it forced her head to stay in the birth canal for 2 hours. So
Oh God.
she almost died from loss of oxygen. So that probably could have contributed
Yeah,
greatly.
I would say
Yeah.
so.
And she didn't. It took her 3 years to get through kindergarten.
Wow. And that's the one
So
you don't hear much about, that one.
yeah, she stayed at a fourth grade level, and her dad thought a lobotomy would fix it.
Uh-huh.
I guess when she started to go through puberty and stuff is when she just became really aggressive and she became violent. So he thought that would help. But it's because mom kept her legs closed for two
Now,
hours.
granted, there was probably not a whole lot known at that time, because I remember in the
No, no,
because
absolutely not.
they still had
That
like
was in 1918 she was born. They
okay,
didn't know
yeah, because
shit.
like even through like the
Yeah.
60s you had like those psych wards that were poorly maintained and shit like
Oh
that.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, just even childbirth, in 1918, like they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're like, "Oh, you're not ready to have the baby? Close your legs, honey.
Oh
You
my
can wait."
God.
Like they don't know. But Rosemary's extremely pretty though. She's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous girl. I'm looking at pictures of her. She's really pretty.
But I would say out of all of them, Jacqueline Kennedy or Jacqueline Onassis, Jackie O,
Jackie O.
Jackie O would be the one that I think of as sort of the look of the Kennedys. I mean, you look at JFK and Jackie, and that's pretty much it. Jack
I
and Jackie.
love him. So handsome. Ooh, I love him. See, when I was a kid and I didn't know anything, I remember I'd seen a picture of him, and I had a similar thing happen with a few other dead people. I saw a picture of him and I was like, "Oh, he's cute." And I was like, "I want a poster of him." And my grandmother had to tell me, she's like, "Yeah, that was one of your presidents." I was really young, so I didn't even know. I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, he was the president." And I'm like, "Where is he?" And she's like, "He was assassinated." And I'm like, "Oh my!" Oh my! And then like it happened again. Like I fell in love with James Dean, and she's like, "Yeah, car wreck." And I'm like, "What is going on? Why do I like these people?"
Jesus, shake.
I had a big thing for James Dean. I still do.
A rebel without a cause.
I mean, he had plenty of cause, just didn't have time to show it. Damn it. He was ready. There's I don't know, how did we get into the fucking Kennedys? How'd
We're
that
going
happen?
all over the place right now. I don't know where things are even coming and going anymore.
I like it. Do you remember when we were talking about how soon here all women are gonna be required to join the draft
Well,
and all
it
that
was
jazz?
still up for like they still had to do votes and shit on it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
remember
I do.
the conversation? Norway's already doing it.
Well, good for Norway.
Yeah, they have like 2/3 of their people that joined this year were all women. They're required to go through all the same testing as men. They're all roomed together, so they're all treated 100% equal. At least that's what I'm hearing. Who knows if that's truthful? I don't believe that when I read it. I'm like, no.
Norwegian way.
But yeah, in Norway, they're just like they're going balls to the wall. They're like, hey, ladies. And now they're all forced into the draft now. So women are, but they can all openly join. I guess women have been able to just volunteer and do what they want.
Well, I mean,
Anyway,
the last hurdle in the States was women serving on like in frontline combat. So as soon as that passed, it was just like, well, why don't we have this now? Why don't we have a draft that includes both genders, since there's no difference in what both genders can do on the battlefield now? And that's why it's gotten so much support in Congress. Now, I don't
right.
know if the president would sign it or where it's at right now, because I haven't followed it since we last talked about it.
I
But
haven't either. I just was I had been scrolling through the news and I was like, oh, Norway's doing this already. All right, but I didn't think to go and look at what our own country is doing.
yeah, I mean,
And I was just like, fuck it.
but yeah, selective service, you know. I mean, it's going to happen regardless. Like, even if it doesn't pass this time, it will pass in the next 4 years for sure.
And then I also found something that was disturbing to me,
Mm-mm.
but I thought it was because I read the title and it just said "Danger in Grinder app." So it was clickbait for sure because I was like, okay, what's the danger besides just the fact that it's Grinder? Let's go. Let's see what this is. So
There is a lot of
apparently,
danger on Grinder.
right? There's already danger. It's Grinder. You don't need to put that in any title. We already know. Um, but the apparently in Egypt, because Egypt isn't really okay with anybody being a homosexual. They're not okay with the LGBT community. There's no laws against it, but they have arrested people simply for being gay. They've done it a bunch of times. They put someone in jail for over 15 years
Some places they'll
just
throw you
because.
off a fucking roof. So yeah.
Yeah. So the Egyptian police have taken a whole new stand on their fight against the LGBT community. They are now making profiles on Grindr and dating through the app to find people that are gay and hunt them down through the dating app.
Mm-hmm.
So people can't even use it in Egypt anymore because the Egyptian police are also using it, which just seems very strange to me to go to that extreme where you're making a profile and posing to find these people. That seems very odd. I never thought that anybody would go to that extreme, but Egypt is all about that right now, and I thought that was insane.
Yeah, I mean, inside of the United States, I mean, there used to be the raids on the nightclubs, where the police would come in and they would grab everybody and they'd put them in the police vans and they'd haul them
Really?
off to jail. Yeah, that's actually what started the Stonewall riots, which was the beginning of the LGBT civil rights movement back in
I
the
didn't know that
60s.
happened.
Yeah, it happened all the time. I mean, really, because gay clubs started popping up around. I'm hoping I'm getting this right, but I think it was around World War II. And the reason for that is because it wasn't until really World War I, World War II, when gay people started to really organize. Because guess what? When they were overseas, a lot of gay soldiers met up with other gay soldiers and they were like, oh, hey, what's up? And they started kind of hooking up. So when people started coming back to the States, they started to organize more. And by organize, I don't mean politics. I mean, people would find designated places to go hang out. And it sort of started the first gay bars and that kind of thing. And so when the police started finding out about this shit, they started doing raids. And they would do it all the time. They'd go out to harass people. If people fought them, they'd fucking give you a black eye. And then Stonewall happened. And Stonewall was when the police came in to do one of these routine raids, except the club decided, you know what? We're not going to put up with it today. And so they fucking fought back and it started a huge riot. And it kind of changed the landscape for what the movement was going to be about. Because the only thing that's pre-Stonewall that I know of, the only type of media within the gay community that there was a movie that originally was a play called The Boys in the Band. And I have a copy of the DVD of this, and they made a movie version of it that premiered right after Stonewall. And because it premiered after Stonewall, most of the gay community hated it, and they boycotted it, and they would not go watch it, and they would just completely kind of, you know, ignore it. It wasn't until more recent times that people have come around to realizing that it's a great work of art that is a great window into gay life pre-Stonewall, because it's the only uh, theatrical work really that exists of that time. And the basic premise of it is that there's a group of I believe 7 or so men, and they're having a birthday party, and they kind of come into the birthday party, and it's about that. It's about their celebration of that, as well as there's a lot of inner tensions and drama. I love the film. I've seen the film multiple times, but at that time people really hated it. That's why I'm not really a part of like these crazes when people go around saying, well, we're going to boycott this or we're going to boycott that as a reactionary thing, because I'm always kind of looking at things in the lens of history and thinking, okay, well, maybe you won't feel that way in 10 or 15 years from now. Maybe you'll look back and you'll see something differently. But, you know.
Were you ever like that though? Were you ever a reactionary person when it came to things like that?
Yes. Back in college for me, so around 2000 to 2003 ish. I would say I was very, I became very political, very much a political activist.
You have mentioned this to me.
But that for me kind of died down as I started befriending people who had very different worldviews from myself. And I began to realize, the world is not black and white, and that human beings are very complex, complicated creatures. And most people are willing to treat you with respect if you can treat them with respect too. And that is the best way to ever bridge dialogue. It's not going around and shouting people down or doing whatever. I mean, that has its place. Don't get me wrong. That has its place. But when it comes to just forging friendships and meaningful dialogue, because the thing is, I can disagree with somebody on a multitude of things and still sit down and have a great chat and conversation about something that we're both into, or watch a movie and enjoy it together, share a beer and enjoy it together. For me, life is more about those moments than it is about anything else. But, I'd say people should do whatever the hell they want in terms of living their life any way they want to. So if they want to be heavily involved in echo chambers where they only hear one point of view and they don't ever go outside of that, which I fear is becoming more and more common, especially in our current political landscape where you see who we've got running for president. But that's how people want to live, then okay. But I don't want to live like that. I'd rather live in a world where there are people of different belief systems, and where we can all just exist and coexist and stop with all the bullshit. I'm going to be as vague as I can there and just leave it at
See,
that.
that ain't gonna happen though.
I know.
It just ain't.
Well, I think it can happen on smaller scales. I don't think it's going to happen on a large scale because there are too many people who want to control other people. People are constantly wanting to control each other. I'm talking about more small scale. That's why I keep a very small number of friends, people I actually care about. People I actually, and it doesn't matter to me who these people are. Like, I don't care. They could be religious people. I myself am very much an atheist, but I can befriend a religious person, no problem. I have no problem with that. I don't care if they believe in a spiritual entity or a being, or if they believe that a man was trapped in a whale for weeks on end. I mean, it sounds crazy to me.
I have friends that are super religious, and I don't care.
But the thing is,
they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. None of that actually matters to me. What matters to me is, hey, do they like playing Battlefront? Do they like these movies? Do they like talking about books? Because I'm not going to be talking to them about, a man in a whale. I'm going to be talking to him about, fucking Star Trek or some shit. And that's what I'm getting at. That's why I say that can exist on a smaller scale, but it requires that people kind of let go of whatever anger and hatred they have and these preconceived notions about what other people are when they're categorizing people. I can get along with anybody. I don't care if you're a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian, a Green Party enthusiast, a hippie, a hipster. It doesn't matter to me. As long as
I can get along with you, as long as you're not annoying.
That's what I'm saying. As long as you can treat another human being with respect,
yeah,
then I can treat you with respect too. And we can find some common ground on something and just like that's what I'm saying. Like playing I want to say Battlefront again. Okay, let's talk about Battlefront. There's 40 people in that battle.
Yep.
I don't know who those other 39 people are unless you're there. Then I don't know who 38 of the people are. And and that's okay. I don't care who those 38 people are. I don't care
Right.
if they're Christians or Jews or Muslims or Hindu or what the hell ever. I don't care. That doesn't matter.
And even if I knew, it still doesn't fucking
I
matter.
know. We're just there to enjoy Star
But
Wars.
to some people, it just really matters to
I
know.
know it matters to people because they want to control other people and they want everybody to think about the world exactly the same or else they lose their shit. And I'm like, you're never going to be happy. You know, you're never going to control everybody like that. You're never going to be able to achieve that. So
Hmm.
I let go of all that shit because I know that I can't hold on to anger like that and be happy. It's not going to happen. So I I prefer to live in peace and people can call me whatever name they want to under the sun. I'm okay with it. Let's just move on. So,
Hmm.
what do you say about that?
What I mean, I feel the same way as you do. I mean, I don't see a need for people to. I just don't. I think everybody just is. I think that people are constantly in search of something to have a problem with,
Yeah.
because God forbid you wake up one day and nothing's wrong. And I don't understand why everyone's always like, oh, all we want is peace. All I want is peace. And I'm like, okay, but you're actively trying to make sure that doesn't happen. It's like you say you want this, you want peace, you want all the fighting to stop, but then you make, because I've heard people who are like, oh, I'm just really, I really want all of this to stop. All this is ridiculous. But then they'll turn around and be like, well, I'm afraid of this type of person
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
how this person. I hear that a lot, and I'm like, okay, and they're like, well, you're not afraid, and I'm like, no, I'm not afraid of people.
I think
I'm like, yeah,
if you're
there's
afraid of a certain kind
there's
of person, you've probably not gone out of your way to meet that person. And I'm not talking about any
right.
one type of person. For example, if you're a liberal-minded person and you're afraid of let's just say a Trump supporter, you're like, I am deathly afraid of Trump supporters. Chances are you don't really know any who aren't the stereotypical, zombie
What the
as
media throws at you.
right. Chances are you
Yeah.
haven't actually befriended an actual human being on that level. And if you've ever come close to it, you're probably one of those people who says, "Well, I'm going to unfriend anybody who says or voices support for Donald Trump." Now, my personal views of Donald Trump are that he is an egomaniac who doesn't know the first thing about politics and
I
who
agree.
I mean, this man would be insane. My opinion about Hillary Clinton is that she's a career politician who's very fucking corrupt, and that's fine. And people can believe whatever they want to about either one of them. The thing is, I don't judge her followers and I don't judge his followers unless that person has given me a reason to judge them negatively.
Yeah, to judge them on more than just the fact that they're a Trump supporter.
Right, because here's the thing, like if you heard somebody say, "Oh, I'm a Trump supporter," you might in your mind go to a place of saying, "Oh, this person's a racist. This
No, in
person's
my mind, I'd immediately just be like, "Oh, fucking seriously." Like that's where my mind goes. Like
exactly." But
that's my first
I'm
thought.
not talking about you though when I say this. I'm talking about more the rhetorical you as in the person out there that I'm speaking
Yeah,
to.
it's a general, yeah.
And but no, I mean, that might be where their mind goes. I would encourage those types of people to actually engage another human being and say, well, why do you like Donald Trump? Like, why are you voting for him? The answer you get from that person probably isn't going to be any of the racist garbage that you have in your head. The same as if you walked up and asked somebody, oh, why are you voting for Hillary Clinton? Chances are they're not voting for her because of some corrupt email scandal, you know.
Right.
Chances are they have a completely different reason for it. And because you don't engage that person, you don't know these things. See, my whole thing on this is that I judge the candidates. I will judge those candidates until I'm blue in the face. That's my right. But I try not to judge the followers unless they give me a reason to, unless they're one of these screaming maniacs out there in the world who are just even more crazy than the candidates themselves. And they're out there. You've got a lot of violent assholes,
Oh yeah.
but the average human being, I mean, I could actually go into a whole theory next week. I have on some of that, but I don't really want to do it this week because
Oh no, that's fine. Save it.
Yeah, we got to save something for next week.
You save that. You put a pin in it.
Oh, I'm putting a pen in it right now.
Put a pin in it, damn it. Because I need that. I need to know.
Everybody just get along and let go of your anger and try to have a good day and do something you enjoy doing. There you go. Watch Land Before Time and cry.
It's such a good place to stop. Like, I was like, I'm just sitting here for a minute. I'm like, yeah, that's a good place to go. Well, we're done. You can email us at theprattlecast@gmail.com. Leave us a message on speakpipe.com/theprattlecast. You can find us on Twitter under that name, under the same name, on YouTube. All the episodes are immediately put out on there as well. Our personal Twitter accounts are Shakezilla TV and Razzle_Dazzles. We stream together every Friday or Saturday at about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Still working on Saints Row. We did some Star Wars last week with the new Bespin map, and that was fun. But we'll be back to our normal stuff and progress through some business. So we'll actually be making progress in life. So that's good. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Am I missing something? Why do I feel like I'm missing something really serious?
I don't think you're missing anything that I can think of.
Okay. Well, that's it for us. Be nice to each other.